How does a charming and intelligent woman turn into one of the most cunning and cold-blooded killers in history? This is the story of Adalie Hugo, a master manipulator who used love as a weapon and turned trust into a death sentence. Adalie Hugo wasn't just a killer, she was a psychological enigma. To her victims, she was captivating and irresistible, a woman who could make you feel like the center of her universe. But beneath her magnetic charm was a cold and calculating mind, capable of weaving intricate lies and manipulating even the sharpest individuals. She was the kind of person who could smile warmly at you while plotting your demise. Was she born a monster, or did something in her past push her to become a master of deception and destruction? The truth about Adalie Hugo is more chilling than fiction. Welcome to the Tales Across Time, the channel that brings you the most riveting and shocking true crime stories from around the world. Adalie Hugo was the kind of person you wouldn't give a second thought to if you passed her on the street. Born in 1985 in a quiet suburb of Lyon, France, she was the youngest of 3 siblings in a middle-class family. Adalie was described as bright, cheerful, and helpful, a stark contrast to the criminal mastermind she would later become. In her early years, Adalie was a straight-A student, excelling in mathematics and literature. Teachers and neighbors adored her, often calling her the perfect child. Her family ran a small bakery, and Adalie spent many mornings helping her parents knead dough and serve customers. But underneath the perfect exterior was a mind that harbored dark secrets. Adalie had a fascination with crime novels, and often told her friends she could outsmart any detective. Little did they know, this innocent claim would turn into a sinister reality. By the time Adalie turned 30, her life had taken a dramatic turn. She moved to Paris, where she worked as an accountant. It was there she met Pierre Laurent, a charming but financially struggling entrepreneur. Adalie and Pierre quickly became inseparable, with friends describing their relationship as passionate but intense. In 2017, Pierre was found dead in his apartment from an apparent overdose of sleeping pills. Though it was initially ruled a suicide, Pierre's family insisted he had no history of depression or substance abuse. Adalie appeared devastated at the funeral, sobbing uncontrollably and vowing to honor Pierre's memory. But just 2 months later, another man in Adalie's life died under equally mysterious circumstances. Julien Marchand, a wealthy art dealer whom Adalie had recently started dating, was found dead in his home. The cause? Carbon monoxide poisoning from a supposedly faulty heater. These deaths, though tragic, didn't immediately raise suspicion. Adalie's ability to play the grieving partner was Oscar-worthy, and her calm, composed demeanor convinced investigators there was nothing amiss. But behind the scenes, Adalie was meticulously covering her tracks, ensuring that no one could connect her to the growing body count. Adalie's motive became clearer as investigators began to piece together her life. Both Pierre and Julien had taken out sizable life insurance policies, with Adalie listed as the sole beneficiary. In the months following their deaths, she collected nearly $1.5 million, using the money to fund a luxurious lifestyle. But Adalie's greed didn't stop there. She began targeting vulnerable men, lonely, wealthy individuals who could be manipulated into trusting her completely. Her strategy was simple but effective. She charmed them, gained their trust, and then orchestrated their deaths in ways that appeared accidental. Adalie was careful, never leaving behind obvious evidence. She used her knowledge of chemistry and medicine to administer untraceable poisons and staged crime scenes with meticulous detail. Adalie's perfect facade began to crumble in 2019 when she met her next target, Paul Duval. Paul was a retired surgeon with a fortune amassed from years of private practice. Adalie quickly moved in with him, but Paul's children were suspicious of her intentions. Unlike her previous victims, Paul was cautious and had a close relationship with his family. His daughter Claire noticed discrepancies in Adalie's stories and began digging into her background. What she found was shocking. Adalie's name appeared in connection with multiple deceased individuals, all of whom had left her significant sums of money. Claire alerted the police, but without concrete evidence, they couldn't act. However, investigators began quietly surveilling Adalie, hoping to catch her in the act. In early 2020, Adalie made a critical mistake. She attempted to poison Paul during a family dinner, spiking his wine with a lethal dose of cyanide. Paul took a sip but immediately spat it out, noticing the unusual taste. Claire, already suspicious, confiscated the glass and sent it to a private lab for testing. The results confirmed their worst fears. The wine contained enough cyanide to kill a person within minutes. Armed with this evidence, authorities obtained a warrant to search Adalie's home. What they found was chilling. Adalie had a hidden compartment in her wardrobe containing vials of poison, forged documents, and detailed notes about her victims. It was clear she had been planning her crimes for years, meticulously researching each victim and perfecting her methods. Under interrogation, Adalie initially denied everything, but faced with overwhelming evidence, she eventually confessed to 5 murders. She justified her actions by claiming her victims were selfish and deserved to die. Adalie Hugo's trial began on October 15, 2014, and quickly became one of the most high-profile cases in French legal history. Dubbed the Black Widow of Paris by the media, the trial captivated the nation and the world. True crime enthusiasts, journalists, and grieving families packed the courtroom, all eager to see justice served. The prosecution presented overwhelming evidence of Adalie's guilt. They revealed bank records showing millions of euros transferred from her victims to her accounts, chilling video recordings from one victim's home surveillance system, and forensic evidence tying her to several crime scenes. The lead prosecutor described Adalie as a master manipulator who wielded trust and love as weapons to kill. Adalie's defense team argued that she suffered from borderline personality disorder, BPD, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, stemming from her abusive childhood. Her attorneys pleaded for leniency, arguing that her mental state clouded her judgment and reduced her culpability. They also tried to frame her actions as impulsive rather than premeditated, but the evidence of detailed planning undermined these claims. One of the most chilling moments of the trial came when the prosecution played voice messages Adalie had sent to her victims, in which she alternated between sweet affection and threatening commands. These recordings left the courtroom in stunned silence. The trial lasted 6 weeks, and on November 26, 2014, after just 7 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a unanimous verdict. Adalie Hugo was found guilty on all counts, including 5 counts of premeditated murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and multiple counts of fraud and theft. Adalie was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, the harshest penalty under French law. The case of Adalie Hugo is still studied by psychologists, criminologists, and legal scholars as an example of extreme manipulation and premeditated violence. Some believe her ability to charm and deceive her victims suggests traits of sociopathy or psychopathy, while others see her as a product of her environment. Whatever the reason, her story remains one of the most chilling and unforgettable cases in modern French crime history. And that's the chilling story of Adalie Hugo, a woman whose charm and intelligence masked a terrifying darkness. What do you think drove her to commit these heinous acts? Was it pure greed or something deeper? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you found this story gripping, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Tales Across Times. Hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the world of true crime. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with another spine-chilling tale.